my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. Yes, baby, I'm hitting y'all with a new vlog. Okay, with a new vlog, and so I'm gonna say it starts off with me making tea. I do eventually get to cooking, and I cook some egg tacos for myself and some ramen with a boiled egg for my son. Don't judge me. We don't have any gas. Okay, we don't have no propane, so I have to cook with like my little what do you call it? Like I got a little hot pot, and I got what basically like a ramen maker, which I will be using it anyways. But I have one that has the bowl, like the little bowl area where you cook the ramen, and then it's like a grill where you can make like shrimp or like steak and stuff to go with it. And then I have a full ramen pot. But anyways, I'm using those until I get the money for the propane, because I accounted for everything but that. I can't stunt. I really did. I can't stunt. I sat down and planned. I know I look rough. I have been like really, I want to say on point, because I'm not perfect, but I have really been trying my darnest to ensure that me and my son have a good summer, and it's not filled with threats of somebody popping up on me. It's not filled with somebody actually popping up on me. It's not filled with me having to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to deal with it. I'm tired. I want to have a peaceful summer. That's what we gonna have. I want to have a peaceful life in general. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for drama, and I don't have time for nonsense. Anyways, the message that I heard is allergy to the ring. The scripture, also the light don't work in the restroom, so don't judge me. I know y'all probably like, why are you in the dark? Because the light, I don't know what's wrong with it. I gotta figure out what it is that I need to, I don't know. Anyways, the scripture comes from Isaiah 19:3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So you know what I'm saying. And God is like, go ahead and finish what you was gonna say. In reality, it's like super early in the morning right now. In this video, I wake up early. I don't know why, but I do. I wake up really early, and I guess it's because I go to sleep really early. But anyways, it's dark. You know what I'm saying, outside. But in reality, throughout the camper, it's not really that dark. I'm not really tripping about it, anyways. You know what I'm saying. I'm not somebody that's scared of any spirits or nothing like that. And I'm not saying that as if I'm just the biggest and the baddest of all, but I know that I'm covered. You know what I'm saying? On my house covered, my son covered, and we good by God, by the blood. Okay, but during the day, it's fine. You can see, you know, it's windows in there, it's a fan in there, so it's not like it's like a closed off area and there's no circulation and you can't see or something like that. During the day, you can see, but when I'm up and it's dark, you can't really see in there, and I do not like that. I'm gonna have to add a light in there. Once again, I haven't made no like housewarming thing or nothing like that, but I do have to figure that out. Anyways, the message is for somebody: you are completely, wholeheartedly turned against getting married. Like, I feel like this is somebody you used to, this somebody you grew up, and I feel you, because me too. You grew up on the Disney princess movies, and all you ever thought about was your happily ever after being you finally meeting Prince Charming. He wished you away to his castle, and y'all get married, have babies, and live happily ever after. That is your happily ever after that has been embodied in your mind since you were a little girl. You have idolized this from a standpoint that is, I just feel like this is someone you truly idolize marriage. And I know some people are not gonna like this message, baby. While I'm sitting up here talking about all the things that I need help with, I already know ain't nobody gonna help me because y'all ain't gonna like this message. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I know God gonna make a way out of no way. I ain't even tripping. But when it come down to it, like this somebody you idolize marriage to such an extent that it's almost like anybody. God said that that kind of mindset has now put you in a position to where you have went through some very traumatic relationships to such an extent that you don't even want to be married no more. You now see yourself, you now, it's almost like I'm thinking about this song by Janine Ayeko called One Way Street, and it's just like she's basically saying there's no other option. This, for somebody, you had this as there's no other option. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get married. You are going to be married. You are going to be somebody's wife. That is the thing. There's no other option. I don't know if you grew up with your parents telling you that you were going to be married. Maybe they had that in mind for you. I don't know what it is. Maybe your parents felt like you needed a husband to take care of you. It could be a situation where maybe they spoil. Like, I feel like for somebody, it could be a situation where your parents already, like, they already had that in their mind. Maybe you really pretty or something like that, and they assume that you gonna get married. I'm like, honestly, what I'm thinking about is I'm gonna be honest. This is the trope that I'm thinking of. Somebody. Your parents thought of you as the pretty, not so smart girl that ends up getting married to somebody very rich and becoming a housewife somewhere, and they treated you as such. And as an adult, you may have very well attracted the same exact kind of men that your parents knew that you were going to attract, and you may have even been in a position to where you was somebody's housewife set up somewhere where you ain't have to do nothing, but for one reason or another it did not work out for you. For one reason or another you didn't like it. And I just feel like this is somebody, it could even be a situation where you've been married multiple times and you didn't like it didn't work out for one reason or another, and it's like at this point you are allergic to even the idea of being married to somebody. I just feel like this is somebody you just like, I'm good on it. Why would I do that? Why would I entertain this? Somebody you don't even want to entertain the idea of being a wife. And I get it. And I'm even looking at where God said, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols. God said this is somebody that you were receiving counsel either from God or you received counsel from a prophet that you needed to let that relationship go. You received counsel, which is still, it's like, I don't want to say it's still counsel from God because God is speaking through them. But they not God, okay? I'm not God, and ain't no other person walking is like, no. Is the God, Elohim is speaking through prophets, you know what I'm saying, and prophetesses, and that's just what it is. And God told somebody to let this relationship go. God told somebody that that marriage wasn't for you. God told you that you were intended to be single, or God told you that you needed to let go of your idea of marriage. Because it could be a situation where marriage is destined for you, but this fairy tale idea of marriage that you're thinking about is nonsense. It's nonsense. And that's why I keep on, like, it's nonsense. There is no such thing as Prince Charming, sis. He don't even exist. I'm sorry to tell you. And I feel like that's what it is. He does not exist. And in reality, we live in a world that is so devilish that you have to understand it's gonna be hard for you to find somebody even close to Prince Charming. So either you is just gonna have to deal with the fact that your husband is gonna end up being, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say he gonna be a nightmare on wheels, but I just feel like he ain't gonna be the idea like what you thought. It's not gonna be like what you thought. Or you could just be single and be happy. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's one or the other. God said it's one to either be single. The option is there. It has always been there. And you know what I'm saying? Baby, 2 eggs left. I gotta give me and my baby some more food. Anyways, but I just feel like the option is still there. The option is still there. The option is still there. You could be single, and you don't have to worry about none of the headache. You don't have to worry about what your man doing. You don't have to worry about this, that. Like, I just feel like this is somebody that you always find yourself in a state of panic and worry and anxiety. You always end up maybe you keep on ending up with people that are cheating, people that are abusive, people that are this, that, and the third. And I feel like God is saying there's nobody walking this earth that is perfect. And you feel as if every time you get married to someone, or every time you're interested in someone, or they are interested in you, there are so many red flags. And you're like, where is the man God has for me? God said, maybe, maybe you need to let go of your idols. Regardless if you let go of the idol of just having to be married and you decide to be single, or if you let go of the idol of this Prince Charming of a man coming in, rescuing you from the nightmare life that you're living and bringing you into this castle far, far away of bliss and happiness. It does not exist. And I feel like I'm thinking about the movie Shrek and how I feel like Shrek is realistic. Like the way that Fiona was thinking Prince Charming was going to save her. Prince Charming was always supposed to save her. Prince Charming was late. Prince Charming was lost. Shrek pulled up. Was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Shrek ain't even come because he really just wanted to save her. He only showed up because he wanted them off his property immediately. He said he wanted to be alone and all the way alone, and he wasn't even really just trying to find her like that. And then she get him, and he ain't no Prince Charming. He ain't handsome like Prince Charming. His body don't look like Prince Charming. His attitude out of control. He want to fight over any and everything. He eat disgusting things. He, you know what I'm saying, farting and all kind of like burping and okay. But there go her husband. Okay. And then it turned out, well, she an ogre too, low key, on the low, and he ain't even know it, and etc. I just feel like that's more of reality. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be bliss and happiness. Just like the second movie, they going to see her parents. Her dad was pissed. Why would you marry him, etc. Knowing good and well that his daughter got the same thing going on. So you know what I'm saying? And then him and his wife got the same thing. So you know, I just feel like, and he the frog prince, and he sit up here judging them. I just feel like God said sometimes you may have to let go of the idolistic idea that you have of marriage. Baby, don't judge me for that bag. I don't have a trash can, okay? I gotta get one. Don't judge me, don't judge me. Okay, we go both of y'all. Anywho. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it is like you have to let go. Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Either you gonna have to get to the idea of I ain't just got to have a husband, or you can get to yourself where you have the idea of, you know what I'm saying, I got a husband, he ain't perfect, but that's okay. Pick one. 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 And I feel like when it comes to what flaw he have, I would think, I'm thinking about how they talk on Bridgerton. You know what I'm saying? I forgot who it was. Oh, I remember. I remember her face, but I forgot her name. It was the girl that came from the country when I believe she was talking to Penelope, and she was telling her that she just wants a husband that is nice. And I feel like some people don't even get that, because in reality, like, if she end up being single, her and her children, like, they gonna have to be poor. They gonna struggle for their whole life, and they didn't have the kind of opportunities that we have today. The only person that had the opportunity to be single was Penelope, and Penelope didn't want to be single. Just because she had money like that, she Big Bang Frank on the low, okay? And then wasn't even like, you know what I'm saying? Penelope could have been single if she wanted to. She could have ducked off somewhere, bought her own house, and bought her own land, and bought her own clothes, and still be in high society. She could have did that and carried on as Lady Whistledown on the low, and nobody would have peeped it. But well, I guess they would have peeped it if she would have started moving like that. But in reality, she could, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like simultaneously, she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over Colin. But I also feel like it took for Colin to realize that he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over her too. Because if he would have ended up marrying somebody else, like the girl that was talking about he's a nice guy and she feels like he would be a good husband, I feel like that was more so she felt like he wouldn't put his hands on her. She because of what she was doing, she was already pregnant and she was doing something evil, you know what I'm saying, in reality. And she don't want to do something evil to somebody that's gonna do something evil to her, so she gonna do something evil to somebody nice. And I just feel like sometimes you have to think about, if you go find somebody that has some flaws anyways, at least let them have some flaws that you can deal with. If you cannot stomach cheating, then you do not need to be with somebody where that is their flaw. If you can't deal with somebody that is mean and nasty and they like to fight, then you do not need to be with somebody with that flaw. If you cannot deal with somebody that, you know what I'm saying, talk smart to you, or they like to how do you say it, like control finances. I'm thinking about how some men will, like, they have complete control over the finances. The woman has no idea how much money there really is. She has no idea how much money is being made. She is just kind of like in the dark, and if anything happens, she is, you know what I'm saying, SOL. And I feel like in a sense that is a sense of being mean, because baby, if this person, they can do whatever they want to at any time. And you know what I'm saying, it could be a whole Diary of a Mad Black Woman situation where that man just decides that he gonna start cheating on you and start a whole new relationship with somebody else off the drop of a hat, and now you getting drug out of house that you don't have no claim on, because that's his money, that's his house, that's his this, that's his that. I ain't got time for this. And I just feel like God is saying, like, you know, if you just got to be married and you cannot stomach being alone, then you need to choose to be married to somebody that you can deal with, that can tolerate, not only tolerate you, but that you can tolerate, something that you can stomach. Because you know what I'm saying, I know me, I can't deal with certain things. I can't. I know my temper, I know how I am, and I feel like I understand that everybody ain't gonna respect it, because some people just disrespectful anyways, and I know some people are conniving anyways. I know how some women are, and you know what I'm saying, some of these messages be so dang wild to me, but simultaneously I believe it, because I know that some women, they will not like you for reasons that are absolutely stupid. There are people that dislike me just because I do this here. And this is something everybody do. Everybody posts on social media. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one posting on social media. I'm not. And I ain't try to hear that when baby they don't like because you talking about them. They shouldn't have inserted themselves in my life then. Because in reality, who would be mad in any of these stories? The man that's cheating on me or the women that he cheating on me with? Why are you sleeping with my man? And then have the audacity to feel some kind of way about me saying I don't like it. Duh. You did that to disrespect me, right? That's why you did it, right? So why you gonna feel some kind of way when I say somebody? You thought I wasn't gonna say nothing. You thought I wasn't gonna feel no kind of way. You thought I wasn't gonna, like, I feel like you more so probably thought that I was just gonna run up on you, or I'm not finna embarrass myself behind no man that's finna chase after somebody that don't even compare to me, don't even come close. I'm not. But it ain't finna be a situation where you finna feel like this my channel, and that's just real. That's just real. And if I'm doing a message, if I receive a message and it sounds close, similar, or somewhat, to what I'm going through, sometimes, yeah, I'm gonna talk about what I'm going through. And if you included yourself in that, you know what I'm saying, then so be it. You did that, not me. I ain't asked you to mess with my man. I didn't tell you to go meet him. I didn't tell you to talk to him. I didn't tell you to sleep with him. You did that on your own accord. And then you cannot get mad when I feel some kind of way, because you shouldn't have did it. And that's just what it is. And I really don't care about your side of the story, to be honest, to be frank. Anyways, God says sometimes it be a situation where you really just have to accept the fact that people have flaws. But what flaws are you going to accept? Because what I'm not going to accept is no disrespect from me. That you insist, I insist on making a laughing stock out of me, and insist on sleeping with any and everybody. Insist on being disrespectful. Insist on having me in drama at 30. I'm too old for this. I am too old for this. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I'm not 15 no more. I am not. And I am not. And that's what, you know what I'm saying, is giving. It's giving. You know what I'm saying? It's giving like the story yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I was 19. I think I was about 19, 20 then. At the oldest, 21. Yeah, I was about that life. You know what I'm saying? It was like going on. But I was 21 years old. And I think at most he was 23. So it wasn't a situation where we was in our 30s and 40s doing that stuff. Even when we got married, I think I had just turned 30. At a certain point, I'm not finna play games. I don't feel like it. And you know what I'm saying? At that point when I got married to him, I was like, oh, I see this already. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I am not finna be based. I'm nobody's trophy on the shelf. And I'm not finna just be sitting there looking pretty while you go and sleep with the whole neighborhood. And I was sitting up watching this show yesterday, and I noticed how the wives on the show were all angry, bitter, and upset, while their husbands were flirting with all the single women, smiling and happy, and you know what I'm saying? And I felt like they were dropping hints and clues that the men weren't. They weren't dealing with their wives like that. Man, getting, you know what I'm saying? He was like, one of the husbands in particular, he kept on, God is like, say it. He kept, like, the wife was getting into it with this other woman, whatever reason she didn't like her. And they going back and forth. The husband is defending the other woman and not his wife. And even though I wasn't personally in favor of his wife's character, I still peeped that flaw, and that's a flaw to me. How you not defending your wife? Why are you defending this random woman? Why are you defending this woman? What you got going on? And I just peeped it. You know what I'm saying? I just peeped it. And I just feel like this is somebody that you tired. You ain't finna deal with it. I'm not finna deal. Because me personally, I'm big on loyalty. I can say that when it comes to me being an Aries, baby, that loyalty, I do not like disloyal people. It put a bad taste in my mouth. And I know people feel some kind of way. Well, you come on here and you record videos and this, that, and the third. Guess what? Anybody that is in a wrong in any of these videos, anytime I'm talking about something that happened to me, they clearly were disloyal to me because the video. Anyways, that's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.